How to Netdeck and Why, an introduction to using the internet to build and improve your deck. Netdecking is defined as the act of copying a deck from the internet, often a tournament-winning deck, and playing it unmodified or only with slight changes. For many players, creating and building a deck from scratch is an important part of the game. And indeed, successful homebrewing is often a process requiring intense skill and an advanced understanding of the cards available. That being said, netdecking need not be as simplistic as blindly copying a winning deck and then playing that deck. In fact, players who do just that without true research, testing, and understanding may find that their results are largely unsuccessful and expensive. So how do we as players use the vast information of the internet to help us build and play this game? This video will explore the process of netdecking on an introductory level. That means it is intended for an audience that has little to no experience with the process. Please note, this is an introductory video. I am not showing all the sources for information available on the internet, nor am I necessarily showing you the best. What I am showing you here today is meant as a starting point. There's a lot more out there than this. A lot. Using the internet, we can draw upon deck lists that were successful in tournaments and events. The most common places to pull these lists from are the MTGO daily events, as well as the Star City Games tournament results, Channel Fireball, and TCGPlayer. You can click on any of these images to be taken to that site's tournament listings. However, this is all a lot of data to sort through and understand. What I would point newer players in the direction of is a site that helps you streamline and make sense of all this data. Again, there's a lot of these out there, but two that I'd point newer players towards are MTG Top 8 and MTG Goldfish. As you can see on MTG Top 8, the website is drawing from all of these events and helping compile the data for you. Using this site, you can explore and research different decks that you might be interested in building, or just see what's performing well. Now, MTG Goldfish focuses only on results from the Magic Online daily tournaments. And keep in mind that Magic Online isn't always the same as paper Magic in terms of which decks are winning and being played. Still, it's a very good starting point. So, for example, if we select Standard on either site, we can see what some of the most popular archetypes currently are. Again, this is great as a starting point if you are a newer returning player. Don't know how to go about getting a deck together? Try these lists not as answers, but as possibilities for something you might put together. Please note, most played does not always equal best. Later, you might want to go back and look at those tournament results to see for yourself where these decks are winning, what they are winning against, what almost won, etc. But as I said, sorting through that information is a little more advanced. A classic mistake that a new player might make is to simply select the first, most played deck on this list, acquire those cards, and expect to win. Other players might wish to block this information out entirely. I know many homebrewers who refuse to so much as look at lists such as these. I feel that both of these strategies are a mistake because they treat these lists as solutions and not what they really are. Data to be considered, and only then, after studious testing, either accepted or rejected. So, let's say you look at this list, look at the cards you own, and you decide you want to go for Black Devotion in Standard. After all, you wisely bought the Underworld Herald event deck when you returned to the game earlier in the year. And looking at this list, you already own many of the additional cards you'll need to build this deck, so it seems like a good fit. Don't just run out and buy the remaining cards that you need. Make proxies instead. Using lands and commons, print the cards you don't already have. Some players who are more familiar with the cards just write the card name and cost and marker on lands, but I recommend printing them out. Get a few practice games in with your proxied deck. Do you like it? Is it beating your friends? What are they playing? Is there another deck on here that interests you? Say, Jund Monsters. Proxy that one out and play the two decks against each other. Make sure you spend some time piloting both before you decide which you want to actually buy and build. This is where netdecking is actually of help to homebrewers. How does your homebrew stand up against what's currently winning in your format, and what you're likely to encounter at the shop? When you pilot one of these winning deck lists, do you understand why it is so strong? Are the card interactions, synergies, overall strategies becoming clear? Playing with a deck someone else built is a way of studying that deck, analyzing it, and learning what makes it tick. That information is important to have whether you decide to modify a deck or just build one from scratch. Again, at no point do you need to actually buy and build one of these decks. You can still homebrew your own deck. You are just using all information available in order to help you in that process. Finding forums. You don't want to just download deck lists and hope for the best. Engaging in a forum of ideas is key because it allows you to study a deck not in isolation, but in collaboration with others. Again, there are many forums to choose from, a few of which are the MTG Salvation forums, the forums at the popular deck building site Tapped Out, and the MTG subreddits. I would, however, avoid the official Magic the Gathering forums hosted by Wizards of the Coast, as they are death incarnate. Engaging with others in a forum is very advantageous because these are living threads, where players of particular deck types are constantly talking about what makes the deck strong, where it may be weak, and testing out ideas with one another. Yes, it is the internet, so at times people can be contentious or outright antagonistic. But at its best, these threads are a collaborative effort. When you participate and contribute, you are working towards a common goal with hundreds of others, the goal of improving and refining a type of deck. What I find most helpful are people posting their own results from the smaller events they participate in, such as their local Friday Night Magic. This data is very helpful to identify successful strategies, card interactions, and better understanding of matchups. Obviously, nothing should be taken at face value. All information should be put to a reasonable amount of scrutiny, but as you frequent the forums, you'll start to gain a better ability to navigate and digest this information. Remember, you do not have to agree with what anyone says, but it is in your own best interest to be exposed to it, and in so doing, begin contemplating, considering, and asking questions. It is through the process of asking questions that we transform ourselves from working in isolation to working based on as much data as possible. The biggest mistake you can make is to assume a deck list you get from the internet is the end of the process. It is, in fact, the beginning. Use these resources as tools. Consider, contemplate, discover, create. I hope this video has been of some help to you. You can help me out by remembering to subscribe, like, and share this video. And remember to help your own local game store out by buying your singles and other Magic products there whenever possible. You're investing in your Magic community.